now a few brief words from Autumn Newell and Lucy Reed.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for everyone who is here today. We've all gathered here for more than just a football game. We've gathered to honor someone who meant so much to this school, to this community, and all of us who were lucky enough to know him, Mr. Pinto. November 2nd will mark 1 year since his passing, and while that pain of the loss is still heavy in our hearts, today we come together not just to grieve, but to remember, to celebrate, and to carry forward the impact he left on all of us. Mr. Pinto was more than a teacher, more than a coach. He was a mentor, a role model, and a constant source of encouragement to everyone. He taught us lessons that reached far beyond the classroom or the football field ever could. He taught us lessons about teamwork, perseverance, and never, ever giving up on yourself. For many of us here today, he wasn't just considered a coach or a teacher. He was family. He believed in us even on the days we didn't believe in ourselves or when others didn't believe in us. He pushed us to be better, not just as students and players, but as people. That kind of impact doesn't fade, and I know it's something we'll carry with us for the rest of our lives. Tonight's game is a way for us to remember him, to celebrate him, and to continue his legacy. Tonight, every play on this field, every ounce of effort is in honor of the man who gave so much to all of us. We miss him deeply, but we know he would be proud to see us here together, playing the game he loved with the same heart and passion he taught us to have. So let's play this game not just for ourselves, but for him, for Coach Pinto, for the lessons he taught us, the memories he gave us, and the love he shared with all of us. With all that said, we'll miss you forever, Pinto. I hope you're happy looking down and are proud of every student and staff member you have the opportunity to make an impact on. Thank you.
I hope this somehow reaches you, Mr. Pinto. Even though you're no longer here with us, we've thought about you, reflecting on the impact you had on so many of us. The news of your passing came as a shock, and it's hard to put into words how much your presence meant to me. You were more than just a teacher, you were a mentor, a guide, and a source of inspiration. You had a way of encouraging us to think outside the box, but more than that, it was your belief in each of us that left a lasting mark. You didn't just teach students, you believed in our potential even when we didn't believe in ourselves. You helped us see the best in ourselves. The way you faced your own battle with grace and strength was yet another lesson. Even though your own struggles, you never lost compassion for others. Though I'm filled with sorrows that you're no longer with us, I am grateful for the time I had with you, for the lessons you taught, and for the person you were. I know that the wisdom you shared with me will stay for the rest of our life, and I will carry it forward just as you would have wanted. Thank you, Mr. Pinto, for everything. You will always have a place in my heart, and your legacy will live on in many lives. Rest in peace.
Thank you, ladies. Vikings will receive the opening kickoff.
Good evening, folks, and welcome into our Twin Town Homes game of the week between the Lewiston Blue Devils and the Oxford Hills Vikings. Getting ready to kick this ball off immediately right here. It is underway, and we are underway as it's going to be fielded by Cam Polkinen about the 15-yard line. He gets through the first wave, and Cam Polkinen trying to stay on his feet. He does. Stiff arms the kicker, and he's going to take the opening kickoff all the way to the house. What a way to start the game for the Vikings. Coming off back-to-back losses, they take an early 6-0 lead. How about that? First play just got on. Cam Polkinen breaks through, begins the scoring on the first play, and the Vikings have a lead. Officially an 85-yard kickoff return score for the Vikings. And after losing back-to-back games, first a couple weeks ago against Coney, and then last week 34-8 against Bonnie Eagle, That's exactly how the Vikings needed to start out this game. Get back underway as there's a flag down in the end zone. So caught up in the action, folks. Forgot to even introduce any of us up here in the broadcast booth. So good evening once again. I'm Ryan Coolidge. Joining me up here in the broadcast booth, our producer Stan Bennett, our camera operator up on the little staircase. We have Wyatt Flagg, and we're really excited to bring you this Twin Town Homes game of the week here at the Gwine Athletic Complex. If you're just joining in, Vikings took the opening kickoff to the house. Cam Polkinen boots that one through the uprights. A 7-point play for him. And the Vikings will immediately kick this one off to Lewiston. Vikings 2-3 to start the season. They lost back-to-back games, as I mentioned. First against Coney at homecoming. Then last week they fell to the undefeated Bonnie Eagle Scots, 34-8. Those lone 8 points came in the third quarter for the Vikings on a 52-yard double move route thrown by Dylan Truman to Jack Stack. And then the 2-point conversion was magical to watch it if you were watching it live. Truman made some Lamar Jackson-esque movements in order to throw that ball in the end zone, get them the 2-point conversion. Other than that, though, the Vikings offense really couldn't amount much as they fell in that game to the Scots. Polkinen set up to kick this one away. And it's going to roll, bounce short of the goal line. It's fielded at the 1-yard line for Lewiston. But here he goes up the sideline, trying to find room inside the 25 is where the Blue Devils will begin their first drive of this evening's contest. I really thought that could have spelled disaster for the Devils that time. Fielded at the 1-yard line after letting it bounce, but they were able to make some magic happen on that return, get it all the way up to the 26-yard line to begin their first possession of this week's contest. Knapp handed off. Thomas Cooper, I believe. No, excuse me. Montrell Spearman with the carry on first down. He gets forward for a couple, bring up second down. Lewiston, they've started their season 0-5. They've lost 5 straight, including their game at home last week against the Bangor Rams. They fell 45-8. And here's a second down carry again. Spearman can't get much on the ground. I think they're going to move him backwards a yard to the 27. So already a third down. The Blue Devils will try to convert. And through 5 games played this season, winless, and they have been outscored by opponents 171 to just 20 through 5 games. Had a really rough start to the year, looking to turn that around against the Vikings. They've got a 3rd and 8 to try to convert here, 3rd and 9. Here's Tegan Dougal back to pass, throwing that one. It's intercepted. Slant route intended for Brennan Belanger, and it's Jack Stack jumping in front and causing the turnover. So 3 plays for Lewiston's offense, and on 3rd down, the Vikings defense forces a turnover, and they'll be set up in excellent field position to start their first drive of offense this game. High snap, Truman bobbles it. He's able to bounce it outside to his left, and now he's going to throw it downfield. Cam Polkinen's open. He's brought down across the 20, around the 15-yard line. Way to make something out of nothing on that play. We've seen those high snaps quite a few times in the Vikings' last two games, their last two losses that they've had. And it's really seemed to cost them. This time, Truman able to tip it to himself, roll out to his left, and still keep his eyes downfield, working on that play. And now it's 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Chris Levesque, who's going to bring him down? The answer is nobody. Powers his way into the end zone, and the Vikings, in about 2.5 minutes, now lead 13-0. Chris Levesque, listed at 6'1", 245, able to just steamroll his way into the end zone. And really, it took about 5 Lewiston defenders to drag him to the turf. But that wasn't before he got 15 and the 6 points to go along with it. Oxford Hills now leads 14-0 in the first quarter. This is a good opportunity to mention some of our supporting sponsors for these type of broadcasts. So big shout out to Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Big Apple Food Stores, and CNN Brown Energy for being this year's supporting sponsors for high school sports on WOXO and on BRG Sports. If you or someone you know would like to become a sponsor of both Vikings varsity football and basketball, remember basketball season's right around the corner. If you want to become a supporting sponsor here on OXO and on BRG Sports, just call 207-743-5911. One more time, 207-743-5911. And as the Oxford Hills Comprehensive High School Band, directed by Kyle Jordan, start playing Joy to the World, that's what this crowd is feeling right now. Joy is not a feeling that this Vikings crowd has really felt the past 2 weeks. Been a lot of penalties against their boys down there as that kick return stumbled at the 25-yard line. Terrell Arias. And that is where the Blue Devils will begin their second offensive drive at the 25-yard line. Lots of joy in the crowd tonight for Oxford Hills. Their boys lead big in about 2.5 minutes played in this first quarter. Second offensive possession for the Blue Devils. Bobbled the snap, and he is going to be swarmed by the gang green. It was a good job that time by Dougal. He did the same thing that we just saw Dylan Truman do on that previous drive for the Vikings. Bobbled the snap, but he's able to track it down and try to make something happen. The difference is there were 4 Viking defenders right in his face as he looked up to try to do something with that ball. He ends up taking the sack. It'll be 2nd and long for the Blue Devils. Here's a toss out to the right. Micah Daniels. Not going to get much. I'm thinking he might have even gone backwards. Yeah, it's looking like they're going to mark this out of bounds at the 9-yard line, man. And no, there was a fumble on the far side. The Vikings recover it. And the Vikings now take over on offense.
Oxford Hills will take over with a 1st and goal.
Wow. see on the far side of the field. I couldn't see who recovered that. But it was a turnover by Lewiston, and the Vikings have it 1st and goal at the 9-yard line. Incomplete. Looked like it was a screen pass. Just couldn't find the mark on 1st and goal. Second down on the second offensive drive for the Vikings. Remember, their first score was a opening kickoff return touchdown. Vikings go split back. High snap over the head of Truman. Malachi Sparks trying to fall on it. Is able to do so, but that's going to go way, way back. Past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal, but more like a 3rd and long situation. 23 yards to the goal line for the Vikings. Here it is, Truman lined up, Sparks to his right, Polkinen in motion. It's a pop pass to Cam Polkinen, the senior. Trying to get through the first wave, he's dragged down. It's like the ball may have come out. It was fumbled, and now it's going to be recovered by Thomas Cooper.
Number 18, Thomas Cooper on the tackle.
So Lewiston forces their own turnover. And Polkinen limping his way off the field. But Lewiston will take over at their own 19-yard line. I form, it's a handoff, but not going to get very far on the first down carry. Akil Murchison gets the handoff. And they'll actually get up to the 20-yard line. About 6 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first quarter. Vikings lead at 14-0. Well, they just coughed the football off, and the Blue Devils have it 2nd and 9 at their own 20. I formation for Dougal. Turns right, hands right. Murchison not going far, is going to go backwards. Losing maybe 2 yards on that play, so it's 3rd and 11 for Lewiston.
Stop behind the line of scrimmage by number 58, Kirby Vaughn. Loss of 1 on the play.
The Blue Devils have been shut out twice this season. And their highest scoring performance came in their last game against Bangor, where they scored 8 against the Rams. Here's 3rd and 11 under center. Toss out to the right. Murchison takes it, but he'll go backwards once again, and it's 4th down. Tackled at about the 17-yard line, and 4th and 12 officially. And looking like we'll see our first punt of this evening. Kick is away. It's going to be a little short, bouncing their own 42-yard line. They'll let it roll across midfield. And the Vikings will begin on their own side of midfield at about the 49. First time the Vikings will start in their own territory.
Vikings take over with a 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line.
Just a little over 4.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Vikings lead at 14-0 over the Blue Devils. Here's 1st and 10. Fake the pop pass. Malachi Sparks on the counter. It's blown up, but he's able to get around the outside, just like Eminem, up past midfield, past the 45 and out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 43-yard line on that carry. Nice first down carry. First wave of defenders really got some good pushback on that counter run. Malachi Sparks able to find his way, bounce it, and able to get a good chunk out of what should have been a tackle for a loss. Now here's 2nd and 2. Truman designed quarterback run, trying to get outside, but he's going to be brought down in the backfield. Christian Rosario coming out of the secondary to make that play, and it's 3rd down. So 3rd and about 5-6 yards to go. Looking to avoid going 3 and out after the Lewiston punt. High snap is fumbled. Curtis Fogg picks it up, but he's going to be swarmed back at his own 45-yard line, and the Vikings will go 3 and out, and they'll be forced to punt it back. We've seen it time and time again these past 3 games now. Quarterback and center just not on the same page. And it has really cost the Vikings. That game against Coney could have been a win. Only lost that game by 1 possession. As the punt is away from Polkinen, takes an awkward bounce and gets by Akil Murchison. So the Vikings will down it. It'll be down to the 24-yard line for Lewiston.
Lewiston takes over with a 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line.
Three minutes left to go in this first quarter. Vikings still lead. Dougal running back straight behind him. He's going to hand it off. But Rosario not able to get much on that carry, blown up. And he's actually going to lose a yard on that carry. Back to the 23-yard line. Viking defense has played extremely well in this first quarter. Haven't allowed the Blue Devils to get past the 30-yard line. Here's the handoff. Rosario. Now he's going to get past the 30-yard line. Out of bounds, close to the first down. Looks like they want to move the chains. And they will. First down. The first down of the game
That's enough
for the Blue Devils. Nice carry from Christian Rosario on the toss play. Able to find the edge and use his speed to get around the Viking defense. There's a bit of a counter play. Josue Luis, he's going to be brought down for a big loss.
Forced out of bounds by number 3, Riley Perry.
Yeah, all the way back at the 29-yard line. Officially a loss of 5 on the play on that first down carry. So second and about 15. Now the Devils will come to the line and charge timeout as they took a little bit too long
Timeout taken by Lewiston.
calling that play. Timeout called by
We'd
Lewiston.
like to thank our football team sponsors tonight. Twin Town Homes, Oxford Subway, The Square Restaurant, Polly's Variety, 290 Main Street, Gold Mill
So within the first
Madison
2.5 minutes of this game,
Maine Health Scheme
the Vikings put 14 points on the board. The kick return touchdown from Polkinen, and then the 15-yard rushing score from Chris Levesque. Since then, Vikings really haven't been able to muster anything. They started inside Lewiston's 10-yard line, fumbled the football, gave Lewiston possession, and in their last drive, they went 3 and out. So the first 2.5, they put up 14. In the next 7.5 minutes, nothing on the scoreboard. That Viking defense keeping the Blue Devils scoreless, preserving their 14-point lead. We'll come back out, 2nd and 15 for Lewiston. Dougal, it's going to be a run. They'll get a few yards out of that play. That was Murchison again. Quarterback Dougal really fired that thing out wide to his back out of the backfield. It was behind them. It was a backwards lateral. So it will go down as a rushing attempt from Murchison. And it'll bring up 3rd and 12 for the Devils offense. Empty backfield for Dougal. He's back to throw, stepping up, facing pressure. It's going to be short of his receiver as he had Chris Levesque draped all over him. Incomplete, and 4th down for Lewiston. Really nowhere to go with that football. Lucky to even just get it out before having Chris Levesque collapse on him. And they'll be forced to punt for the 2nd time this game. Dougal, nice punt this time. Gonna bounce in front of Polkinen. Fields it at his own 32-yard line. Here he goes out to the right, cuts it inside. Here's Polkinen getting through. He's brought down across midfield past the 40-yard line. And another good return from Cam Polkinen in this game.
Stop made on the play by number 18, Thomas Cooper.
So they will start this drive at Lewiston's 35-yard line. Handoff to Levesque. He's going to be swarmed and brought down. Looks like a gain of 3 on the carry.
Stop man on the play by number 2, Gino Rosario.
Gain of 2 as the officials place the ball on the field. Second and 8 from the 33. Levesque once again in the backfield. Quick pass from Truman out right. Polkinen trying to get up the sideline. He will, out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Good enough to move the sticks for the Vikings.
Number 6, Akil Murchison on the stop. Good for another Vikings.
There should be time enough for one more play in this first quarter. If they get tackled inbounds, 23.5 seconds remain in this first quarter. Vikings lead 14-0. Jaden Mason has now come off the field clutching his arm. He's down on the sideline getting looked at by the trainer. So hopefully everything's going to be all right with him. But a backup lineman in now for Oxford Hills on 1st and 10. Truman, he's back to throw. Steps up in the pocket, rolling left. Hit and decides to eat that and take the sack. Probably the smart thing to do in that situation. Had 3 or 4 defenders around him. And it looked like he was going to try to just fire that ball out and see what happens. But he will do the smart play, take the sack, and take us to the end of the first quarter. Vikings lead at 14-0, and we'll be right back on 92.7 and 100.7 WOXO and on BRG Sports. Welcome back in. Start of the second quarter. Vikings on offense. It's second and about 13. Cam Roy's in the backfield. It's a quick throw from Truman out left. Jack Stack spinning and getting down inside the 20-yard line. I think he landed on one leg. It's a little scary looking, but he's able to turn his body and find the ground. That'll be up to the 17-yard line. So a gain of 10 on second down. It'll bring up third and about 3 or 4 yards to go. Keegan Ridley now the running back to Truman's right. He'll be back to pass, steps up, now moves left. He has a wide open lane to run. He's going to take off up through the 10-yard line. Down right in front of the 5, call it the 7-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Vikings.
Number 25, on stop.
That play, while it didn't look flashy, and it wasn't anything that you're going to say wow at, it shows growth at the quarterback position for Truman. Just even last week, I think you would have seen him try to still look downfield and find somewhere to throw it to. As here's the counter play for Cam Roy, and Cam Roy finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Oxford Hills.
Cam Roy for a Vikings touchdown.
They extend their lead here in the second quarter. It's the senior Cam Roy finding the promised land on 1st and goal. Polkinen on to attempt the PAT. About 10:51 left in this first half of play. Vikings lead it 21-20. That one was close. Or 21-0, not 21-20. Holy. That Roy touchdown was set up from the smart play from Truman. Like I was saying before he scored on that well-designed counter run play. Even last week, Truman, we've seen him roll out of the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and try to do too much, throwing incomplete passes or just trying to make magic. On that play, all he did was roll to the left. He really didn't have anything but green grass in front of him, and he ran for the first down. Even last week, I don't think you would have seen him do that. That's really, really good growth from Truman at the quarterback position. He played running back last year. He's kind of had to learn this position on the fly. And plays like that show me he's doing a really good job. Polkinen to kick this one away. That's a deep kick. That one's going to find the end zone. Typically don't see that too much, especially in high school in Maine. Well, that was a line drive kick, bouncing all the way back for a touchback. First and 10 for Lewiston. Still searching for their first points. Here's a run play, absolutely blown up in the backfield. Rosario goes backwards for a loss. They'll move him back a couple yards on the first down run. And for the first time this high school football season, I'm up here in our booth, and I'm shivering a little bit. This is the first game we've had that's real football weather. It feels like fall finally. We've had a couple days, even this week, where it hit 80 degrees. A few of these games have been pretty warm. And now, as we're starting to get toward the middle of October, we're finally having players wearing long sleeves, jackets, and blankets in the stands. It is real football weather. 2nd and 10. Pass is going to be caught around the 20-yard line. It was good defense from Riley Perry trying to knock that ball out, but able to wrap up and make the tackle. It'll be 3rd down.
Gain of 2 on the play. That'll bring up 3rd and 10 for the Blue Devils.
They end up getting back to the 20-yard line. Actually, up to the 21-yard line. So a gain of 3 on the reception. 3rd down. Motion man across. Now here's the throw to him, but it's going to be a little too far out in front of Akil Murchison. It is an incomplete pass, and another 4th down for the Devils. Viking defense has played really, really well. They've also had a few mistakes made across from them, helping them out, keeping this game scoreless. Punt is away from Thomas Cooper. Polkinen fields it at the 46-yard line. Moves to his left. Here he gets up past the 40-yard line. Polkinen pushed out of bounds, but he dropped the attempted tackler right in his tracks down on the sideline. And Polkinen once again sets up the Vikings in excellent field position to start their next drive out right at the 30-yard line. Oxford Hills this game has started one drive on their half of midfield, and that drive started at the 49-yard line. So a little confusion from the Vikings. Polkinen taking the snap at quarterback. Levesque and Sparks on either side. He's going to take it himself. Direct snap. Polkinen up past the 20, past the 15, and down just shy of the 10-yard line. And an injured Blue Devil down on the field. They'll send the trainers out to take a look at him. He's up and jogging off the field. That's Christian Rosario for the Devils. He'll come out for a play, but good sign he's up and walking around back to the sideline.
That'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 14-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Polkinen still in at quarterback. Sparks and Levesque either side. He's going to take it and run left this time. It's Polkinen again on the keeper, trying to get up the sideline. Stays in bounds. Waiting for the signal. Out of bounds at the 1. Thought he might have stepped out right before the goal line. Official confirms it. But if you heard the stadium PA, it looks like there was a flag on the play, and it looks like it's against the Vikings. And it is. I think it's a holding call on Oxford Hills officially. But the holding call occurred at the tail end of that play. So move him 10 yards back from the spot of the foul, back to the original line of scrimmage. Now here's a screen pass. Polkinen trying to get him back in the end zone. That time he stretches his arms across, and he does find the promised land. Screen pass caught, complete, and a score for Oxford Hills. They have blown this game wide open in the second quarter with about 8 minutes remaining. Vikings now lead it 27-0. Polkinen thought he got in on the previous play. It was called back for holding. And the Vikings said, why don't you get another shot? Takes the screen pass, finds his way all the way down to the goal line, reaches out, hits that pylon, and puts the Vikings ahead. Now 28-0 after the PAT made by Polkinen. It's as good a time as any, as we've seen Polkinen make play after play after play this evening. He's a good candidate for our Topsom Tractor of Norway player of the game. We'll be handing that out once this fourth quarter hits triple zeros up on the scoreboard. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere where you can type in a comment, feel free to leave one. Give your suggestion who's going to be player of the game. There's so many players out there. Maybe I forgot a player or two. Just remind me. Who knows? I definitely read them. You know I do. You've seen it. Kick is away from Polkinen. It is fielded right at the 10-yard line. And nice movement down past the 30-yard line. Trying to see. Yes, it is Akil Murchison. So Lewiston will go all the way up. So I think they'll mark it at the 32-yard line to begin this next drive. This is the best starting field position the Blue Devils have had this entire game. Looking to make something happen on this drive of all drives. There it is, 1st and 10 rushing attempt. Micah Daniels on the carry. Gets a nice chunk of change on 1st down. Up to the 37-yard line. Second and 5. Split backs again for the Devils. They hand it off Murchison. He's going backwards. Flying in there is Curtis Fogg. Back-to-back tackles for the senior linebacker. Goes for no gain, and it's 3rd and 5. This Vikings defense really has the benefit of keeping those two middle backers from last season, Curtis Fogg and Malachi Sparks. They played together well last year, but it's even better this year. We see Sparks lined up at nose tackle on that play instead of at linebacker, and he's able to help the Vikings defense stuff the run right back at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And another 4th down for the Blue Devils. They actually credit him with a couple yards on the carry, and it looks like the Lewiston offense is going to stay out there down 28 and try to keep this drive alive on a 4th and short situation. Just a little over 6 minutes left in this second quarter. But it feels like desperation time for Lewiston. They want to get back into this ball game. Split backs again. Murchison, the back to Dugan's left. Or Dougal, excuse me. Timeout taken by Lewiston.
Timeout taken by the Blue Devils.
It's like they might have been trying to get the defense to jump off sides, give them a free 1st down. Defense not budging. They're pitching a shutout right now. They would like to keep it that way. So the Devils will go to talk it over. See what they should do here on this 4th and about 3 to go. I really didn't hate the idea of going for it on this 4th down. It is only the second quarter, but the Devils are down 28 and still scoreless. Gotta put something together. This is the furthest down the field they have made it to this point in the game. They have 1 first down in this contest. Picking up a second could get them a good momentum boost. Murchison and Daniels, the split backs to Dougal. Fakes the pop pass. Dougal throws over the top. It's complete. And the Blue Devils convert.
Pass by number 12, Team Dougal complete for Blue Devils 1st down. Tackle on the play by number 12, Reed Bennett.
So the gamble on 4th down pays off. I couldn't see the receiver who ended up making that big-time catch, but it was through contact, through a hit from Dougal. He took a big lick as he fired that one away, but he's able to convert, And Lewiston keeps their drive alive. It's now 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. This is officially the furthest they have gone down the field this game. Here's the handoff to Daniels out left. He's going to go backwards, tackled at the 45-yard line. More like thrown out of bounds at around the 45-yard line that time. Looks like they might spot it at the 46. But it will go as a loss on 1st down. They're still trying to find a spot for it down on the sideline. I know there's a flag down. That is what the officials are surrounding right by the Lewiston sideline. So we'll see who this flag is on. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Vikings is the call. And that'll push this across midfield for the first time. Lewiston will take it back over at the 39-yard line. They just said the furthest down the field, and their first trip into enemy territory. Fumbled snap. Lewiston able to fall on it. It looks like Dougal went to go recover it. Cam Roy threw him out of the way. But Lewiston able to recover that time. Keep this drive going, but they're pushed way back onto their own side of midfield at the 49. It's right about a few yards in front of where they would have been without the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So it's 2nd and about 22 yards. Split backs again for the Blue Devils. Fakes the handoff, throws the pass. Nice catch out in space by Terrell Rios. Back into Viking territory. Just shy of that 40-yard line. Call it the 41. And 3rd down once again for the Blue Devils. 3.5 minutes left to go in this second quarter before we take a break and come back with our Coastal Auto Parts Napa halftime show. Giving you a little bit of the first half statistics and analysis, or what I at least can give you from the very limited technology at my disposal. Mostly what I've been keeping track of on my phone and my limited knowledge. Here's 3rd and 12. Dougal shorts that pass intended for Nicholas Hollinger. It's 4th down, and I think the Devils may go for this one as well. This one not as close as their last 4th down attempts, but in a trickier spot in terms of field position. Across midfield into opponent territory. It is 4th and 12. There's less than 3 minutes left in this first half. And Coach Versey for Lewiston will try to convert a second 4th down on this drive. Empty backfield for Dougal. He's back to throw, stepping up, launching it deep downfield. Popped up and almost caught. In and out of the hands of Jackson Stack. And Hollinger almost able to catch it off the tip. Ball falls to the ground, incomplete. And the Vikings take back over the football. They'll take over at their own 41-yard line. This is the furthest back the Vikings have been from the end zone to start a drive this entire game. Lewiston brings 5. Truman back to pass. He throws it deep down the field. In and out of the hands of Carter Davis. It looked like, from at least this angle, the defensive back, Terrell Arias, may have been grabbing at Davis's jersey. No flag is thrown, so it goes down incomplete. What a chunk play that would have been. I think if Davis had caught that, he would have snuck away and possibly scored. But that is all moot point. It's 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Roy lined up in the backfield. Multiple men go in motion. And Roy will flip sides. And now Polkin in motion again. They fake the jet, fake the counter. Truman scrambling for his life. Paul pops out. It's on the ground. Flag is down. I think that may be ruled a forward pass and intentional grounding. I think that's what the flag is going to be. With the ball popped out, Lewiston recovered it on the sideline. But if that is intentional grounding, there is no fumble, and the Vikings will continue their possession. Just a little bit further back than they would have liked. If it's not intentional grounding, then I think Lewiston would have possession deep into Viking territory, but it is intentional grounding on Truman. And this ball will be placed way, way back there at the 23-yard line and bring up a 3rd and I'm trying to think of a very distant place away. 3rd and Yucatan, if you will. 3rd and about 28 to the stick, all the way across midfield. Fake the screen pass. Truman lets it fly. Jackson Stack in stride. He's gone. Touchdown, Vikings. We saw him run that play last week. That's how they scored their only touchdown against Bonnie Eagle. Fake the screen pass. They've been running it all game. And they hit Jackson Stack down the field on the double move and into the end zone. That'll go down as a 77-yard touchdown pass for Dylan Truman. And the Vikings extend their lead 34, and with this PAT attempt from Polkinen, 35 to nothing with about 2:21 left in this first half. This is a first half. Oxford Hills, you felt like they really needed it. This is their 3rd straight home game, but they're coming off of back-to-back losses, back-to-back tough losses, and tough in different terms. The first loss against Coney, you had them, came back from down 21, lost that game by 1 possession. Really hard loss to swallow against one of the top teams in the state. And then the next week against Bonnie Eagle, just a really, really tough game for the Vikings offense. They were put in a chokehold by the Scots defense, had a really tough game. So now this week they come out firing on all cylinders as the kickoff is by Carter Davis this time. Returned up to the 30-yard line by Murchison. They've come out here and they put 35 on the board in this first half to hopefully get them back to 500 on the year with a win. Blue Devils will start at their own 30. 2:15 left here in this second quarter. Empty backfield for Dougal. He's looking right, moves right, fires down the field. Intercepted right at midfield. Keegan Ridley picks him off. And it is a first play turnover for Lewiston. It was a nice route. It was a nice play by Lewiston. You really can't fault anything that the Blue Devils did on that play. I thought they executed it very, very well. The only difference is Keegan Ridley ran the route better than the receiver and is able to take the football away again for Oxford Hills. Here's the handoff to Malachi Sparks. Malachi Sparks down inside the red zone, inside the 20. Huge play again for the Vikings. First and 10, handoff Curtis Fogg. He'll get about 5 on the carry.
Tackle on the play by number 2, Chino Rosario. Seven-yard gain on the play.
So Fogg downed at the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on first and 10. Second and 3. Sparks back in the game at tailback. Takes the handoff. Breaks out of a tackle. Gets up past the 10. Everton Silva broke through the line, attempting to tackle Sparks in the backfield. But Sparks able to slip through it and get all the way up. It's about the 8-yard line. Makes this first and goal as we are less than a minute remaining in this first half. Polkinen on the motion. Truman now back to throw. Fires corner of the end zone. Incomplete. Vikings want a flag, and it comes flying in right at the tail end. Vikings want pass interference in the end zone. And rightfully so. So half the distance to the goal. Still first down. Empty backfield for Truman. He's going to take it right ahead and easily finds his way into the end zone. About as easy as a touchdown run as you can get as a quarterback. The Vikings have blown this game wide open now. 41-0. PAT. Good. Referees weren't ready for the kick, but they signaled up. 42-0 Vikings. So it'll be Carter Davis to kick off again. Preparing for future trying to find their next kicker after Polkinen graduates. 42 seconds left in this first half. It's a nice kick from Davis, fielded about the 15-yard line by Murchison.
Kickoff by Carter Davis, field by number 6, Akeem Murchison. Tackle on the play by number 51.
Murchison gets it all the way up to about the 38-yard line. Best starting field position for Lewiston this game, but they have just a hair under 35 seconds to do anything with it. Here's Murchison on the carry. He's dragged down from behind.
Number 42, Chris Levesque on the tackle.
Going to go as a loss of 3 on that carry. And we'll see if they want to try to run one more play before we break for halftime. And timeout by Lewiston. They do want to run at least one more play. In the second half, with the score being what it is, it will be running time. We'll probably see a lot of the younger players for both of these teams come into the game. But it has been almost the perfect game for Oxford Hills. Take away a fumble and a punt on back-to-back possessions to start, or in the middle of that first quarter. It's been near perfect otherwise for the Vikings. A couple interceptions, a fumble recovery, forced a turnover on downs. That defense has been playing lights out all evening long. And they just got to get through one more play to secure their first half shutout. Dougal back to throw. Gets it up. It's almost a one-handed pick for Cam Roy. It falls to the ground. And we'll get one more play.
7 seconds remaining in the half.
Roy almost with the one-handed interception. And if he got a hold of that, probably would have taken that back to the house. Bit of a break for Dougal at quarterback as that interception is dropped, and now it's third down. They'll hand this one off to Micah Daniels. He'll get forward up to the 44-yard line, and that will do it for the first half of this game. Vikings way out in front. They lead it in a big way, 42-0. We'll take a short break. We'll be coming back with our Coastal Auto Parts Napa halftime show. But in the meantime, you're watching this, or listening to this on 92.7 and 100.7 WOXO and BRG Sports. And welcome back into our Twin Town Homes game of the week. Right now, it's our Coastal Auto Parts Napa halftime show. It's about 30-ish seconds before we get back underway in this second half of action. It'll likely be running time here in the second half, with the score being 42-0 Vikings over the Blue Devils in that first half. The game opened up with a Cam Polkinen return touchdown on the opening kickoff, and after that, Vikings scored on their next drive after a Jackson Stack interception, but then they stalled out on their next couple too. Started at their opponent's 9-yard line, fumbled it away, and then a 3-and-out punt, and since then it's been 4 straight drives ending in touchdowns for Oxford Hills, getting the score to be where it is. One of these players likely on this Viking sideline is going to be our Topsom Tractor of Norway player of the game. If you have a suggestion who you think it should be, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere you can leave a comment, type it in. Type in who you think should be our Topsom Tractor of Norway player of the game. I'll do my best to read them. This second half should be fairly quick. We should see a lot of the younger players for both of these teams coming into this game. It's going to be running time, so incomplete passes, any sort of like normal game stoppages will not happen in this second half. So if you're wondering, hey, it was an incomplete pass, why is the clock still running? That's why. Portland and Bonnie Eagle are underway. It is, as of 15 minutes ago, it was the fourth quarter. Bonnie Eagle was leading against Portland 20-7. Portland, the top team in the standings for Class A North. A couple teams Oxford Hills still has to play. Bangor and Wyndham. They're in the second quarter. Bangor leads Wyndham 14-7. Interesting score of the South Portland and Deering game in the second quarter. 2-0. Just one safety in that game in favor of South Portland. So Carter Davis will begin this second half with a kickoff. There it is, underway. Nice deep kick from Davis. Caught it around the 13-yard line and brought down just past the 25-yard line for number 25, Terrell Rios. So Lewiston will begin at the 27-yard line. Their first possession of the second half. It looks like the starters for the Vikings defense still out on the field as they try to preserve a shutout in this game against Lewiston. And the starters for the Blue Devils out on the field trying to end the shutout from Oxford Hills. Here is the handoff to Rosario. Tries to cut it upfield. Not a lot of room to work with on the first down carry. Is able to move it up close to the 30. Down, calls the 29.5-yard line, so second down for the Blue Devils. I'll try to update you folks on the time remaining in this game, as it is going to go by quick. Already 10.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. So here's Tegan Dougal. Back to throw, looks left, has to move left. Short throw off his back foot. It's incomplete. a couple Vikings in the area, but unable to get to the spot. Third down for Lewiston. Devils only able to get past midfield a single time in this game. As here's Dougal back to pass, soars it over Nicholas Hollinger's head, the intended target. Fourth down, and here comes the punt team.
That'll bring up fourth down for the Blue Devils.
A little over 9 minutes left in this third quarter now. As it looks like Carter Davis is back to return the punt. And the officials, looks like the ball was misspotted. So they'll respot it up a couple yards where the line of scrimmage actually is. Punt is away. Davis fields it just in front of the 40. Carter Davis gets up the sideline, past midfield, past the 30 before he's dragged down out of bounds. A nice solid return from the sophomore Carter Davis.
Force out of bounds by number 25, throw right.
So on the Vikings' first drive of this second half, they'll be set up in excellent field position thanks to the return from Davis. First and 10. Dylan Truman still in the game at quarterback. But it's Jeremy Turner in the game at tailback. He takes the first down carry, gets up about 3 yards. Turner's first action of the year. He's been sidelined in no pads for the past few games, but gets a 3-yard rushing attempt to begin the first second half drive of the game for Oxford Hills. Turner is to Truman's right. Takes the snap. It's a handoff to Turner. Breaks through into the second level. Still churning his feet. Falls at the 15-yard line with 3 Blue Devils trying to take him down. Pickup of 10 on second down. It'll move the chains into the red zone for the Vikings. New set of downs for the Vikings. It's another handoff to Turner. Meets a defender right in the hole. And he's able to fall forward for a yard that time. Dominic Appleton brings him down after the gain of 1. Turner trying to power through on that rush attempt as well. But Appleton, able to throw him to the ground. It's second and about 8 after the gain of 2. It's marked at the 13-yard line. Reed Bennett in the game at tight end for the Vikings. And he'll get the pop pass. Here goes Bennett on the left side, trying to get to the sideline. Bounces outside and bounces his way into the end zone for the Viking touchdown. "13-yard reception on the pop pass for Reed Bennett. Scores the touchdown and extends Oxford Hills' lead. 48-0. Pulkinen lines up for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. 49-0, with 5:16 showing left in this third quarter. And now after that drive, I would assume we would see more of the younger players worked in there. I saw Jeremy Turner get his first couple carries of the year. Reed Bennett was the one to score that touchdown. Bennett, a junior for this Vikings squad. Carter Davis, once again, will kick this one away for Oxford Hills. This is going to be a shorter kick. Bounces at the 25 before it's picked up. And now carried just in front of the 25 again by Rios. They'll begin this drive once again at their own 27. Time ticking away here in this second half. Already just about 4.5 minutes left to play in this third quarter. Vikings just scored to go ahead 49-0. Empty backfield for Dougal. Dougal has to step up in the pocket. He's going to take it himself. Chris Levesque, their ball pops out and into the arms of Jackson Stack. He's going to take it up the sideline, and they score again. The strip six. You don't see that every day. It's fumbled. It's fumbled by Tegan Dougal on the sideline. Chris Levesque trying to bring him down. Ball pops free and into the waning arms of Jackson Stack, who tiptoes the sideline and finds his way into the end zone for his second touchdown of the game. Point after attempt. Looks like it went wide left. Referees say no good. So with the missed PAT, it is now 55-0 Vikings. With 4:05 left here in the third quarter. You got a feel for the quarterback, Tegan Dougal. He did everything right on that play. Chris Levesque just squeezed him until the ball popped out. And it ends up being taken back for a defensive touchdown for Oxford Hills. Carter Davis pooches that kick. It's going to bounce at the 40 and roll out of bounds. So a penalty. It's a legal kick out of bounds. I'm just waiting to see where they're going to spot this thing. Kickoff went out of bounds. And the ball will be placed up at the 43-yard line.
Lewiston takes over at the 43-yard line.
It's a quarterback keeper for Dougal, but he's going backwards on the carry. No running room at all on that attempt. I think they'll mark him back at the line as the Vikings have more of their younger players into the game now, giving the starters a rest, presumably for the rest of this game after the defensive touchdown. With running time here in the third quarter, about 3.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Split backs for the Blue Devils. Back to throw, quick pass, slant, caught right at midfield. Rias gets a nice chunk of change, gain of 7 on the second down completion, and it's third down.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Third and 3 for Lewiston. It is a handoff. Rosario. He's going to get enough for the first.
Number 51, Delmar Packard in on the tackle.
Ball brought up to the Vikings 46-yard line. And a new set of downs for the Blue Devils. Quick pass over on the left side is incomplete. Looks like Josue Luis, the intended target, not ready for the pass to be coming his way quite yet as it falls to the ground. Second and 10. And Lewiston will take a timeout.
Timeout taken by Lewiston.
So 1:25 left in this third quarter of action. Vikings lead 55-0, trying for their third shutout of the season. Had their first two in back-to-back games against Nasa Bisic and Edward Little. Now looking for their third against the Lewiston Blue Devils. Now, it has gotten cold up here. I mentioned it earlier. We've had a lot of warmer games to begin this season. But this is the first time it's really felt like fall here at these football games. It's cold, man. My toes are starting to get a little cold. Should have double layered up on socks. Instead, I'm in here in my slip-on shoes up here in the broadcast booth, awaiting the 2nd and 10 play, and it's going to be a big loss for Lewiston. Micah Daniels goes backwards on the carry, and it's third down.
Number 77, Lee Gregoire on the tackle. Loss of 3 on the play.
Third and about 13 with just about 1 minute left in this third quarter. Officials trying to figure something out right at the line of scrimmage.
Timeout on the field.
Yeah, officials' timeout on the field. The clock stops at 39 ticks to go. Trying to figure something out. And now it appears we're ready to go. High snap, fumbled. It's going to be picked up. And, oh, man, he takes a big hit in the backfield. Micah Daniels able to recover that fumble. But he takes a big hit on a big loss. And it's 4th down. This is placed all the way back on Lewiston's half of midfield. That'll do it for the 3rd quarter. Vikings lead 55-0. We'll take a quick little break in between quarters, but you're watching 92.7 and 100.7 WOXO and BRG Sports. Getting ready to start this 4th and final quarter of action. Vikings lead 55-0. Here's a 4th and forever throw down the field. What a catch down the field! Thomas Cooper one-handed hauls it in. And the biggest offensive play of the game for the Blue Devils gives them a 1st down. What a tremendous catch that was from the junior receiver, Thomas Cooper. Jumped up through the contact. I think you could have made an argument for a penalty on that one. But through the contact, sticks an arm up, hauls it in, and keeps this drive alive for the Blue Devils as they are in search of their 1st score of the game. Here's Dougal, runs left. Gets forward about 4 yards on the quarterback keeper.
Number 62, Landon Leonard, in on the tackle.
And an injured Blue Devil out on the field. And that is the quarterback, Dougal, hurt after that play. Not good for Lewiston at all. Their backup quarterback I saw during warm-ups, not in pads, not suited up. I think he might be hurt as well. And actually, tough, very tough. I actually believe I'm mistaken, because Tegan Dougal is standing up over on the sideline. I believe that this may be Thomas Cooper. It's hard to see the numbers over on the far side of the field, but the injured Blue Devil is still down on the ground. He's getting his ankle looked at, helmet off, so hopefully everything will be all right with him and he'll get all situated. So really cool thing to see, a host of Lewiston players carrying their fallen teammate off the field to have him get looked at over on the Blue Devils sideline. I think as soon as Coach Versi told players to come over and help their teammate off the field, at least 8 Blue Devils came over and rushed to go help their teammate. But he's down over on the sideline, still getting looked at. He has one of his cleats off, so it looks to be some sort of ankle or foot injury for the injured Blue Devil. But we hope that everything will be all right with him. He'll get everything checked out. But it does not look like he'll be able to continue in this game. It's going to be 2nd and about 5 as they'll resume the clock and look to continue this drive. It's a gain of 5 for Dougal on a first down carry. Here's 2nd down. It's a jet sweep. Down inside the 15-yard line is Rias.
Tackle on the play by number 10, James Harry.
So they'll once again move the chains.
It's enough for Blue Devils first down.
Ball placed at the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 inside the red zone. Lewiston searching for their first score. Handoff is taken by Micah Daniels. So he got inside the 10 to about the 6-7 yard line.
Second and 4 for Lewiston.
2nd down for Lewiston. Split backs again. It's a counter play to Daniels. Daniels trying to fight his way, but he's going to be still up on his feet. And now play finally whistled dead.
Number 19, Micah Daniels.
Daniels will be marked up at about the 3-yard line, it looks like, and it should be good enough to make it first and goal. No, they'll mark him short at the 4. So it's 3rd and about 1 from the 4-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and inches even. Daniels carry. It's good enough for the first, but he's going to be short of the goal line. All the way up to the 1.
Carried by Micah Daniels for Lewiston first down. Number 81, Aiden Rosalian on the tackle. First and goal for Lewiston.
First and goal for the Blue Devils, looking for their first score of this evening's contest. First and goal, they'll give it to Daniels, and the Vikings swarm him in the backfield, breaking through the line and tackling him for a loss.
Number 10, James Terry, and number 77, Lee Gregoire on the tackle.
Call it a loss of 5 on first and goal.
Second and goal.
And this Viking defense still trying to preserve the shutout as there's 7.5 minutes left in this game. I formation. Toss out to the right. Here's Rosario. He finds his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lewiston.
Lewiston touchdown.
Christian Rosario punches it in. Lewiston will get on the board. And they will go for 2 with about 7:07 showing on the clock. They'll do the same play. Toss to Rosario. He falls forward and into the end zone to convert the 2-point conversion. That'll make this score 55-8.
With 7 minutes left in the second half, our score here is Oxford.
With about 7 minutes left in this fourth quarter, I want to give a big shout out to all our sponsors that make broadcasts like this one possible to bring to you guys. Our game of the week, Twin Town Homes Game of the Week. We have our player of the game brought to you by Topsom Tractor of Norway. We're still handing that out once the clocks hit 0 in this quarter. A pre and halftime show sponsored by Coastal Auto Parts Napa, and our other supporting sponsors, Ripley and Fletcher Ford, Big Apple Food Stores, and CN Brown Energy. Huge shout out to those groups for being this year's supporting sponsors for high school sports on WOXO and on BRG Sports. If you or someone you know would like to become a sponsor of Vikings varsity football and basketball here on OXO and BRG Sports, just call 207-743-5911. Here is the kickoff now for Lewiston. Ridley and Davis are set to return for the Vikings. Fielded by Davis right at the 20-yard line. He's moving back toward the middle, crunched up and dropped at the 30-yard line. And the Vikings will take over right at the 30. And Toby Ofiro will come into the game at quarterback. First snaps he'll be seeing this game. First and 10 for the Vikings. Ridley takes the handoff. March forward, gets a few yards on the carry.
14, Keegan Ridley.
He'll get it up to the 33-yard line just about.
2-yard gain on the play.
And this should be the final drive we see from either side this game. 2nd and 7, handoff, and dropped in the backfield. It was Braylon Farrar on the carry that time, but the Blue Devils sprinted through the line to tackle him for a loss back at the 30. And it is 3rd down.
3rd and 10 for the Vikings.
5:15 left in this one. 55-8 Vikings over the Blue Devils is the score. Third and 10. Ofiro back to throw. Launches it up the seam. Carter Davis has to come back for it. It's incomplete. Just short of his receiver. And it's 4th down. I would guess that the Vikings would try to punt right here, but it looks like they're sending Ofiro back onto the field, and they might just go for this 4th down. They're lined up to go for it. Spread look for the Vikings. Ofiro launches that one. He's got a man open. Popped out, incomplete. Defense that time by Brennan Belanger, and now an injured Viking on the play. So he's back up. Is Camden Record the intended target? Took a big hit trying to go up for that one. But it's incomplete and a turnover on downs. Lewiston will take back over at the 30. Time still winding down, a little over 3.5 minutes remaining in this 4th and final quarter of play. First and 10. Dougal fires end zone. Oh, it's almost picked off by Ofiro in the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Pass by Tegan Dougal falls incomplete. Number 19, Toby Ofiro recovered. Second and 10 for the Blue Devils.
First down, incomplete pass from Dougal. So here's 2nd and 10. He's back to throw again. Has to move back left. Oh my goodness, a nice block, but a flag down for a blindside hit. So this 7-8 yard run by Dougal is definitely coming back, as it was Will Foresta on the pass rush, almost grabbing him, but then being blindside blocked in the backfield. Penalty is on Lewiston. So they will bring this back quite a long ways, back to the 45-yard line. 15-yard penalty. It's 2nd and 25. Just a hair over 2 minutes left in this fourth quarter. Dougal, quick pass over on the right side, finds his man Rias, but wrapped up. Nice open field tackle from Camden Record that time. Keeps Rias right where he caught it at the 41 and brings up 3rd down. Time to run a few more plays in this game for either side, as we're under a minute and a half left to play. Swing pass out to Rosario. Brought up, it's about the 35-yard line, but it'll bring up 4th down. Now less than a minute left to play. To be expected, the Blue Devils will go for it on this 4th and 15. They need to get to the 20-yard line to keep this drive alive, or they might just sling it to the end zone with little time remaining. Maybe enough for just this final play, depending on the outcome. Moves left, Dougal looking end zone, fires short of it. It's picked off by Carter Davis. Carter Davis has room to run, trying to bounce it outside. He's going to be still on his feet, still churning ahead, but whistled down right at the 35-yard line. And as time winds down, that will officially be the final play of our game of the week. The Vikings win this one in a landslide, 55-8. Huge win for the Vikings, brings them back to 3-3 on the year. Lewiston, meanwhile, drops to 0-6. Next week for Lewiston, they'll be back at home taking on the Portland Bulldogs. And then they'll be traveling to Portland for their next game, not against the Bulldogs. Instead, they'll be playing the Deering Rams down in Portland. And to close out the regular season, it'll be the Battle of the Bridge in Lewiston, as they'll take on Edward Little. Meanwhile, for Oxford Hills, they'll be having back-to-back games on the road the next 2 weeks, taking on the Deering Rams next Friday, which we'll be on the call for, and the following week taking on the Wyndham Eagles. And then to close out the regular season, it'll be senior night on Halloween against the Bangor Rams. In our Topsom Tractor of Norway player of the game, the man who started everything out for us this game, Cameron Polkinen, takes home the honor. Congratulations on being named the Topsom Tractor of Norway player of the game. But that'll do it for us. For Stan Bennett, Wyatt Flagg, I'm Ryan Coolidge. Thank you so much for joining us for this edition of High School Football. And we'll see you next time on 92.7 and 100.7 WOXO, and of course on BRG Sports.